New generation, where employees have more power than employer. That's correct. It is not 1820 any longer. Karl Marx is no longer writing. Totally different situation. I will tell you my story. It might help you. When I was a kid, growing up, there was economic scarcity in my family. There's lots of conversations around not having money. So it's amazing when you're young what an impact that makes. So as I grew and I got jobs and started businesses, whatever, I was always like, wow, it's just great to have money. Therefore, I was just grateful for the check, to be honest with you. And I don't think I ever used that in a leveraged way, quote, against employees, but it was my mindset. It was because I was from scarcity. I was like, wow, just grateful to have a check. I figured everybody would be that way. Um, Consequently, even though I knew employee management was important, I really did, it was almost like customer service was here. Employee satisfaction is there. They're kind of close, you know what I mean? But I would say now, as you grow and you make mistakes, it's customer satisfaction here, employee satisfaction there. The customers are still number one because they're paying the checks. But this section is about being a better employer. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. And by the way, really important for those of you who are parents who are listening to this, you'll understand this. You're never going to be a perfect employer. You got to get your heart right with people, but you're never going to be a perfect employer. You're never going to be a perfect parent. But there are things you could do. So we're going to talk about some of those things. First, we want to be getting employee feedback, employee reviews. I have never given an employee review in my life. In fact, I have a new goal in my life to never give one. Employee reviews are when you sit down annually and you fill out a sheet of paper and here's what you do well, here's what you not do well, and they sign it. And I think that if you've got employees, that might be terrific for you. That doesn't work for me. I don't believe that that's the right mindset for an entrepreneurial company. I'm pretty sure it's not. But that's my opinion, right? Oh, and by the way, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to do it now. As you get more experience, you come to realize that not everything you say is right. It took me about 54 years for that one. But let me give you, I might reference this later on. 1 is an opinion. 5 is mathematical certainty. In what you're hearing right now with me. I don't know how the other guys are doing it. I know how I'm doing it. 1's an opinion. Like, I think, I'm terrific. That's an opinion. It may not be true, but it's an opinion. 5 is 2 plus 2 equals 4. In this section, I would label employee annual reviews. I'm going to put my opinion on the value of them as about a 2 or a 1. That's just me. I'm not a big believer in annual reviews. To me, they're too formal and the content is not rich enough. That's just me. So let's go to the next one, which is informal touches. I'm a huge believer in this. And this is the way that I've done it. Not always perfectly. I am not claiming that. But informal touches means you should be talking to your guys often enough about their lives, about their role. What do they like in the job? What don't they like? What can we do better as an organization? It's informal and it's constant. And you two on the other side, you're constantly giving them feedback. Like if we were coaching a baseball team, let's say we coach a little league baseball team, would you wait to the end of the season to give the kid a review on his batting swing? No. You'd watch it every single day. And you'd say, hey, keep the bat tip up higher. Or when you come through, follow through on the ball. And you would be doing this all the time. This is what I mean by informal touches. So it's sort of a constant loop of information. And regarding that, by the way, just you got, with employee management or just people management, anything, leadership, realize people are a bundle of complications, right? So you've got them in work, but they probably have a personal life. They probably don't stay in your company all day long. They might have a family. They might be struggling with something. They might not be getting sleep. This is all incredibly important data to integrate into your management. I don't know how people do run companies without doing this. And so I really think, I really believe this, that it's so simple. You're listening to people, you're asking questions, you're curious about them as human beings. And then you can kind of integrate that into your approach. Um, I was a tough boss. Actually, I still may be. I don't know. I can't be the judge of that. But I was tough. But I think that if you care about people and you're listening, you can get a lot out of them and you can help them a lot. And I guess that's the other thing before we get into the other methods of getting feedback. Um, View yourself as a vendor, VENDOR, a vendor. You're providing service to them. In that way, they're almost like customers, it's really true. If your company gets big enough, you can do blind surveys. We used to do this at SageWorks. I liked it. We had a suggestion box basically, a blind survey, and people would put in their suggestions. It's amazing how honest people were, painfully honest sometimes. But again, I kind of want to know what they're saying. I really want to know, why are customers not happy if they're not? And why are employees not happy? Before we get into sort of the next section, I'll paint a little bit of a picture of all relationships. Say they run from 1 to 10, and 1 is when they're happy and things are going well and they just joined the company and, life's good, right? 10 is they left. All of us are on a scale, right? We're all on a scale. So if you're not talking to employees enough, you don't know where they are on the scale. Does this make sense? Like, you don't know where they are on the scale. So 1 is everything's hunky-dory. Everything's perfect. There's nothing to improve. Which, by the way, there is no 1 because there's always something to improve. But 10 is they're gone. Isn't this true of all relationships? It really is. It's personal relationships. So you want to be monitoring that, because I want to know when we get to a 3 or 4, woof, you can almost play the movie forward on how it's going to end. So you always want to keep that number down to 1, 2, or 3. You don't want it going on a 5 or 6. By the way, when people get to the 5 or 6, they've often quit and stayed. And that's the most dangerous employee. You're paying them, but they checked out of the hotel. Right? You can relate to that. You've done that. I've done that. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of here, but I'm not really here. So again, talking to the employees, getting feedback, and getting better.